Duran star Simon Le Bon's daughter Amber has reportedly given up the booze after being challenged by a friend. She says, "I gave up drinking in February. It started when a friend bet me that I couldn't give up alcohol altogether, so I took him up on it. I wished I'd bet money on it now." So, how do you respond when someone says, "I bet you can't... ...
It doesn't really... I think it's because I'm not very competitive. I think... So it doesn't really bother me. If somebody said, "I bet you can't give up drinking again," I'd go, "Yeah, you're right." Tried it once, didn't like that giving up thing.
So it doesn't spur you on?
Not really, not really. But with Tim, those words, "I bet you can't," oh, my God, it's just, you know, like that time I said to him, "I bet you can't knock, you know, I bet you can't put that shelf back on." I came back, he'd made 6 doors for the house, he'd made a table, everything.
I think men are more like it, though, don't you,
Oh,
than
it's just,
women?
but ridiculously competitive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what happens as the outcome, but we did Mr. and Mrs. Oh, my God. It was like when we got this one question wrong, I thought he was going to top himself. Honest to God, he was so competitive.
The whole thing about when someone says, you know, "I bet you can't," can be quite positive as well, can't it? It can be good motivation, because you know, on a sort of more serious note, my mum spent most of her life and mine proving to everybody that she could, because when I was born, you know, she wasn't married and everyone said, you know, she won't be able to cope with this baby, and it was quite a difficult time. And she actually was a bit like, "Well, you're saying I can't, I'm going to absolutely prove to everybody that I can." And a lot of my life has been about, like, you know, this kid is going to do this and go to a good school and all the rest of it. I'm sorry I let you down, Mum, you know, I know you've put a lot of effort into it, but no, I think in some ways it can really spur people on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think anybody who says "I can't," it would make you really fight for that, to do it, wouldn't it? I mean, I mean, when my marriage broke up, I thought, I was on my own, and I thought, I've got to do things that I've never done before, you know, like unplug holes. Well, I've never unplugged a hole in my life, have you? I wouldn't even know what to put in it.
What do you mean? What kind of hole do you
know,
unplug?
in your
talking
sink.
about your plumbing?
Yeah.
Plug hole?
In your sink.
Right, OK.
You know, and... you know, and you have to stick things down to get things out.
You can get powders and things to put
can
down.
you?
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
you could
know,
get a man
see.
to unplug it.
No, but you can't
plumbers.
find men to do anything these days. I don't know where they've all gone. Anyway, so I had to do that, and electrical things and things that, you know, put oil in your car bits and things, you know.
In your carpet?
Your car bits.
Oh, your car bits.
So I have to do all that, but I have a thing where I go, I can't, and then I have a little invisible friend who sits next to me going, "You can, you can."
There's no
I
way
go,
to
"I
talk
can't,
about
I
Denise."
can't." But you have to have somebody next to you that's saying, "You can, you know, you can." I mean, switch over the digital, everything, all those. This little person next to me goes, "You can."
And you don't feel lonely, because you've got this
your
little
imaginary
you have to have
I'd love
somebody,
to
don't you?
spend one day in Sherrie's world with you.
But I'd like to do it invisibly, just so that you wouldn't change anything.
Well,
It'd be great.
There's enough invisible people in her life.
My most successful "I bet you can't" was to Tim when I said, "I bet you can't stop trying to have sex with me all the time." That worked a treat.
Right, who fancies feeling flush?